All right, hey guys, Ham Solo here, Kilo Zero Foxtrot Yankee Romeo. After my safety issue with the TidRadio H8, I was able to come back to Colorado and was going to probably perform some more tests. Um, what I did was I sent the information and the video for YouTube over to TidRadio in China, and the TidRadio uh, people. Specifically, I think his name is Harry. His name is Harry. He works for Tid Radio, and so I told him the what I had the feeling I had when I was holding my hand around it, touching those buttons in the back while transmitting. He had sent back some information initially before he saw the video, saying that if they had had an overheating problem with their battery, they had already fixed that or had talked about that with putting extra heat sinks in there and things like that. I tried to tell him I don't think it is a battery overheating issue because the battery itself wasn't getting hot. Only the little gold dot was getting hot. And so maybe it was RF, like free RF coming through the transmit process. And instead of where it would be insanely hot on the end of the antenna, I was feeling it through the button while I was transmitting with my hand. He asked if it was VHF or UHF. I was pretty sure it was VHF. Okay, so the first channel, 145150. Kilo Zero Foxtrot Yankee Romeo, radio check. Kilo Zero Foxtrot Yankee Romeo, radio check. Holy hell, those dots get very hot when I transmit. And then, gave him some more information. That was pretty much it. The next day, he sends back a video, and they have the engineers go in and time and key up for 2 minutes on high power, and they notice no stray RF and only slight warming of the battery. And so I wanted to make sure that I was back in Colorado before I tried it again. Maybe this had something to do with me being in Austin. Maybe because it was 100 degrees and like 99% humidity and I was sweating. Maybe it had something to do with the moisture on my hand and so forth. And so I wanted to try it myself. I placed it here underneath my GoPro camera. I will show those videos side by side. And what I noticed is on VHF, the back left dot, and I know in the video it's going to look right, but if you're holding it in your hand, it's the one that is on the back left bottom, and that dot gets like really hot. And so I'm thinking it's a stray RF that is coming through. And this was on VHF. I couldn't hold it for longer than about 10 seconds, and then it would start to hurt. And I mean, like, really warm. And so it's not just a little bit that I feel the warming. I mean, it gets to the point where I have to take my finger off because it's so hot. And so I was touching other dots at the same time. The temperature right now outside in Colorado is 68 degrees. It is not humid at all. I am not sweating or anything, and I still was getting RF overheat burn off of the left dot on the back of the radio. And so I will show that and you know, hopefully be able to talk over it. This is the first time I'm recording on multiple cameras. All right, I have the radio sitting here. I got it on VHF. I'm starting the timer. I'm holding the 4 dots on the back, depressing transmit key on high power. And right about 10 seconds, I just can't take the button anymore. That left button gets super hot. And so had an issue with it, stopped it. Wanted to go ahead and turn it to UHF to see if maybe it was on both or whatever, you know, not remembering what I had done in Austin at the time. And so I turned it up to a UHF frequency, tried the same thing, and I didn't get any really significant heating at all on any of the dots. And so I started over here. I go ahead and start the timer, depress the button on a standard UHF simplex type frequency. I'm going to notice that it's on mid-power a little bit after I key it up. And so I'm going to go into the settings and actually have to switch that channel to high power, so I make sure that I'm doing it on high power like I was when I was in Texas. And so that'll happen here in just a second when I guess I finally realize that I'm transmitting on only 5 watts instead of the 10. And so let's see if we can get me to figure it out. Yeah, I'm going through the menu buttons now, trying to get it on high power. So I started over, now transmitting on high power, holding the dots. And I don't see any or feel any significant RF burn or heating on VHF, or excuse me, UHF, the 440 neighborhood. And so don't feel anything. Keep it depressed for about 30 seconds, I think it was, before I just go ahead and stop it at that point. So now realizing that it's mostly on VHF, I'm going to try again. I key up, and again, right about 9 to 10 seconds, I just can't take the RF heat anymore, so I have to pull my finger off, and I just stop the clock. Again, it's that 1 dot on that left side on the radio that I was touching when I was in Austin. So I think to wrap it up, basically, I got the information from Harry from TidRadio. I saw their test. I'm not sure if it's a problem then with just my version of radio, because, you know, it doesn't seem to matter now that I'm hot or not hot or sweaty or humidity level or whatever, because I'm now doing it in dry in Colorado in a cooler temperature, and I'm not sweating. And so definitely feels like an RF type burn coming from that dot. And I do not have an RF probe to check for stray voltage or an oscillator. What I was going to try to do is get a thermal imaging camera and see if I could get a heat signature off of that dot while I transmit. I'm going to have to wait till that ships to my house from my work. And so until then, I'll go ahead and post this as an update. So this was not, for me, a problem with temperature, humidity, or sweating. It actually is happening now anytime that I'm keying up on VHF and touching that dot at the same time that I'm keying up. And so maybe it's just this radio. They obviously didn't see it on theirs. And so it's just something to to keep an eye on. I will follow up before I officially send this back to TidRadio and let them check it out. I want to do a thermal imaging camera on it so I can see what exactly is that temperature getting to while I'm transmitting at 10 watts. And so until I can work more of that out and get that item in and do that as a follow-on, this is going to be it for the safety update and TidRadio's response to that. And so far, what I've done in testing here at the house. So thanks for watching. This is Ham Solo K0FYR 73.